Okay. So and I should be able to make a slightly more positive video on this occasion, and now's a good opportunity because as today's gone, sorry, I'm doing two things at once again. I've just come back from the shops and got some shopping away, but sorry, where are we? Yeah, my mental health has been pestering me, like, make a video, what can we talk about? Make a video, what can we talk about? And I've been like, yeah, just leave me alone, no, that's not why I make videos. And anyway, I've got on my day, and my mental health has got me from the second I woke up again today, but I'm just giving you a little bit of context to where I am, because this is just how I make the videos. And well, it's not what I feel. If you want to do, check back in I don't know, 3-4 minutes. I'll probably start then if you don't want to listen to the prelogue. But my mental health has got me from the second I woke up today, and I held my breath to it again. You know, it's like when it gets challenging, I just hold my breath. I hold my breath. Hold my breath to the circumstance of the situation, and do my absolute best, you know. And all the ways that it's challenging me, I just do my best. And everything I've ever learned, I try and stay calm, I try and stay focused, try not to be worked up. Try to be honest with myself emotionally to how challenging it is, so I don't lose my footing. And you know, what more is there that anyone can do than the best they're able to do? And I that's what I apply. And after a while, it either works or it doesn't. I can't actually recall any times that it's actually worked, but there wouldn't be that idea, because it's just like, it's obviously there, it's just my memory at the moment, that's what I'm trying to say. But like the other day, it didn't work, and I exploded on camera and went into, well no, I had turned the live streams sooner than I would have hoped, and we didn't actually get onto any subject matter. But today I know within the circumstance, the situation, the likelihood is there shouldn't be a problem. And that's why I'm taking the opportunity to make this video now. And the irony is, and this is what my mental health does to me, this is what my mental health does to me. Sorry, some sort of spiritual game that's going on has got my tongue, and it's like struggling to get the words out. And I have, it's been evident on camera since I've been making the videos, but it seems to be more and more, so I thought I'd just acknowledge that. And the irony is, I said, right, let's make a video. And the games that my mental health plays, it's like all of those things that it's been telling me for days, like, we can talk about this, we can talk about that, we can talk about that, and I'm like, just leave me alone, I know your game. And it comes to making the video, and my memory's gone of all the things that it said, and I knew that would happen. But I don't really want to get into that energy of like, oh, I can talk about this, I can talk about that. No, I want to keep present with these, keep it clean, keep it on point, keep it practical. I don't want to get into like, I can share this, I can share that. It's not a good energy for myself, the way I operate in my head. So yeah, the title of the video is within my coma, because I'm in a coma first, and I don't know how weird and intense it gets beyond that, like what constitutes that. If I'm in a coma, if I'm in an afterlife, anything is possible. And a lot of things have shown me that something isn't quite right to what we understand about life and death. And it presented itself again. So for the first time yesterday, I got a knock at the door from police and ambulance, and it's the most normal it's ever been. I normally hate that as an experience for obvious reasons. I have to give a lot of energy every time I get a knock at the door to explain my circumstance. But I knew I needed to go to hospital yesterday just to get a check over for my physical symptoms. So I was on the level with them. It was really easy speaking with them, and I just didn't mind it because I thought I'd surrendered to the point that I'm going to hospital. So I went to hospital, all the checks were done, and one of the things they did for me was a chest x-ray. And how can I put it? My want for the chest x-ray, beyond their concerns for me, was that one of the reasons I believe I'm in pain is because I tried to teach myself acupuncture. You see them needles on me sometimes when I practice. But at the beginning I was quite foolish. What I used to do was I used to get up and I would be impatient, and I'd be remedying. To a certain extent, I was in a lot of stress at the time, so I was remedying the stress. It was hard to rest, so I figured if I put acupuncture needles in me and use like surgical tape and stick them down, I'd get up and move about. I wasn't in pain. I was able to deal with any, mild discomfort. I literally didn't feel pain, so it was okay to myself for that reason. But obviously, on a few occasions, I took the surgical tape off, and it would only be the head of the needle that would be left. There would be the rest of the needle stuck inside. And through my best estimates and one or two x-rays that have come back, I guess it was anywhere between about 15 and 50 needles that I had stuck in me. Obviously some have come out by natural course. I don't know how many, but I know I still have needles in my body. One of the needles, what happened was a needle or two would come out, like it would show itself as a bump almost, and I would prise it out and it would come out. It's not painful in any way. It wasn't painful, so don't worry about it on that level. But one of the needles, I had a little bump come up near my heart, in my chest, so it was quite dangerous, and I'm not 100% sure it was a needle, but I'm pretty sure it was a needle. I tried to get it out with tweezers. I had to open it up a little bit, so it was almost like a little open wound. I was there for quite a while trying to get this needle out, and I lost it. It went back in. It's not shown itself since. So I've not had any problems. And as I said, I wasn't 100% sure it was a needle, but that's my suspicion that it was. Anyway, I went for the chest x-ray last night, and my chest was all clear. There was no needles in my chest. And it just leads me to believe something I've believed earlier, other times in my life. That, either this coma that I'm within writes its own rules now, or I'm in like an induced dream, like a Carlos Castaneda sort of energy. Like I've gone to see a really wise person, and they put me in an induced dream, or they actually have killed me to a certain extent. And this is like an afterlife process, but they're there with me, controlling the process. It's like one of those sort of things. And my suspicion is either, and this has shown itself to me on a few occasions, and I'll share one of those with you. It's a miracle that it happened, but I'll let you believe it or not, because you can't tell anyone a miracle happened, can you? So where were we? Sorry, I'm trying to bring myself round from this relentless torment I've been under, and as you can tell, my voice is a bit heavy under the tone, and the videos have been all depressing, which you know. I'm just trying to do my best to hold on to anything that makes sense to hold on to, that's light, like this video, this moment, to help bring myself out of it. So we were saying, the needle had gone, and it left me questioning, because I believe it was a needle. I don't know for certain, but I believe it was. And it's left me thinking, in my head, if I believe it's a needle, either that I'm either being taken up on some sort of spaceship at night, having surgery on and sent home, or aliens are able to just, teleport it out with their teleportation devices and technology, or just make it vanish. But that's my initial thinking. But as I said, I'm within a coma, so who knows what's possible. I don't think I would do that on my own accord, but it leads me to think then, okay, I'm in a coma, I'm in some sort of dream state, I'm in some sort of afterlife process, and the likelihood is, if that's the case, that things like acupuncture needles can just disappear from within my body. He's possibly got a director, this coma, this movie that I'm within. And that's what I'm thinking, is some sort of wise person from my past that's powerful, and he's putting me through a process of a learning process. So I'm there considering, is it aliens, is it this person? And as I said, the reason I'm willing to believe this is because my reality is totally corrupted, my reality is totally broken. And it's proven to me that either I'm being fucked with to such an extent by the dark forces on the planet, i.e. the people that have got technology beyond imagination, men in black, so on and so forth, Want to give me their own education process for whatever purpose they serve, good, bad or other. I'll tell you one thing that came to mind. I mean, there's been many things, like, I'm pretty sure this within myself is about a 55% certainty that this is what took place. I've got a balcony there, we've got a bar that goes around it, and I painted it gold. But the gold paint run out on where I didn't have one. Sorry, I've just realised my reality is actually broken. Whether you believe me about this bar or not, the likelihood in my head is broken to a phenomenal extent. At 55% certainty, probably up to so if we take 55%, that was me being reserved. It was like, I'm pretty sure, but what's the lowest I can go to feel comfortable in sharing that information? And now it's like, I know reality's broken. What I saw there in the balcony, and I'll tell you exactly in a minute, but taking that, be reserved about this idea to, actually, you're more likely to be accurate. You're a little bit more to the upper end. And that's why I'm going to change it from 55% to possibly about, I can only really go 65%. That's a big jump. You might not know it, but anyway, one day I could have sworn I came back and that bit of black bar that was not painted turned gold. It was gold, like. But it's gone back to black now, just be clear. But on another occasion, and this one I know I can't doubt, like this one I'm certain, this one's 100%. And I still have it. Friends from Brighton would have seen me wear it. Any of my other old friends should have seen me wear it. I've had it for a couple of decades now, almost. And that is a brown hoodie. And that's my jumper. That jumper represents me, man. More than any of my other clothes, that probably represents me. Anyway, because I've had it for so long, and because I am the way I am, such a mess disorder, it develops holes in one of the side pockets. I've lost keys through those holes. Anyway, in hospital, not the Christmas gone, the Christmas before, so it would have been not 2021, it would have been 1920, that admission for myself. And I woke up one day, I had this hoodie with me, I put my hand in my pocket, the holes had disappeared. The material felt different as well, but the holes had just disappeared. 100% the same hoodie. So I don't believe anybody in the hospital, because these are the possibilities. Like, he's got mental health disorder. We really get off on people, winding people up with mental health disorders and making them worse. And they took my hoodie whilst I was asleep. It's one of the options. Or as I said, it was Secret Services fucking with me, because on that admission, I had Secret Services saying hello to me. But I don't know, it's possible. I just don't believe that one. I believe I'm in a coma with the director. Or some sort of Men in Black organisation, not just Secret Services. Maybe they were Men in Black, and I took them to be just bog standard Secret Service agent, boring. And maybe they did fuck with me, but who knows? either way, my reality is broken, because if I'm being fucked with on that level, it's a case of I might as well believe this, man. How am I going to live my life feeling interrogated by some sort of secret service? I can't. I can barely deal with my own mind. So I might as well start believing fantasies and believing that, what the likely perception is in the first instance, which is that reality is broken. So that's my proof, that's my ability to stand here and share this information, because it's like so ridiculous what I'm expected to experience. And it's happened so many times now that it's like, God, I'm really going to end up sharing it anyway. Today's the day when it starts. And that's what we've done. So yeah, that's what makes me believe it. And where were we before? We were talking about the gold bar and that as proof. Yeah. And for me, I believe that I had this needle stuck in my chest. I was probably about, say, between 60 and 70% if I had to put a number on it. That's how I was in terms of believing it was a needle rather than just a spot that looked like one of the needles that had come up before. And yeah, so my reality is getting weird and wacky, and that's probably why my mental health is so challenging at present, to ground me within the madness. If I didn't have my mental health antagonising me the way it is, making life unlivable the way it is, I wouldn't be able to comprehend life in the first instance. I'd be up with the fairies at the moment. I'd be up in the clouds. Can you imagine those sort of events happening to your life when it's all good? Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I must be like important or something. Why is this happening to me? And I'm like, there's no more medication, please. No more medication. What? A miracle's just happened in my pocket. Yeah, go fuck it. Fuck off. I've still got a chance of being medicated by this archaic mental health system, man. I'm petrified. I can't be concerned about miracles at this level. What can I do with it? I'm just not likely to lose my keys anymore. That's the result of it. And that's why I can carry on. Gold bar, no gold bar, it doesn't really matter. You know, my life doesn't change. But an acupuncture needle removed from my chest, that's a big thing, because it was really close to my heart, and I was really worried about it. But the only security I had was that, well, I'd been alive without any problems really for, what, 2.5 years it was there, without any problem. Only the pain, which covers my whole body, arrived slowly. And you know, I was a fool. I made a huge mistake. I can't take any pride in being hard or like clever in any way. Totally stupid, man. Totally stupid to have an acupuncture needle stuck in your chest, especially your chest. But it's what happens since acupuncture, and it's a lot healthier. It's a lot healthy. It's healthy now to whatever insanity I was applying before. And I use it in a limited way, but always basically. So, yeah, that's the story. That's the spiritual story. And I really wanted to speak about something else beyond my own life, but well, this is all my mental health has allowed me to speak of on this occasion. And well, I've taken it. I've shared something, and you can take another perspective on the weird and wacky life of well, this world, man. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. Just play your cards right, and your pocket can be sewn up too. Just make sure that you're totally focused on the terror of your own life when it happens, because that's what they don't want. So I reckon if I can get over miracles, I might not need to suffer. I'm experiencing it more. That's the logic. And there is a spiritual saying, I'm going to have to paraphrase, but it's along the lines of along the journey of your life, the aim is to balance out the good and the bad, the warrior and the so to speak, and keep that balance. And I am balanced, I'm Libran, and balance has been my application towards life when it was a mental thing for me, when I was like in formation mode. It's instilled in me. That's what I, search for, I think. But yeah, if I can just let's do it now. Let's think if I can come up with some scenarios and go listen to them. If you can do this with me in the moment, miracles can start happening for you too. I might change the title of this one. A madman's lesson to how to attract miracles. The point is, I think, with miracles, for every miracle that happens, if you take any good from it, the exact opposite, you have to be able to stomach too. So if we're talking about a hole is magically repaired in my pocket, I have to be accepting that, well, a hole will magically appear in my pocket. And if you knew the way I live my life, the amount of ripped shorts I have, the amount of holes I put in myself, literally, yeah, the whole amount of holes I put in myself, but the amount of holes that are found in my clothes that are ripped, that's just me, like, natural, like, a few years ago. I mean, the way from what I've learned and where I've become an adult would have been on point with things now, but my mental health disorder has kept me in that place where I might as well still be a kid, I know I'd be an adult if I could, but I can't. And on top of that, I'm moving back to the boat. And that is as good as a mental health disorder when it comes to ripping and soiling and making the clothes filthy. So I've got two levels to work on there. But yeah, no, if you can start to imagine things like that, and well, to a certain extent, I've got phantom pain. So I've got phantom. It could be that this is what was needed to balance out this miracle, because I might have needed that acupuncture needle removed from my chest. So, what miracle is worth the opposite? That's the question. How far can you go in your life in terms of a positive miracle? How far can I go in terms of a positive miracle? When I know the opposite is likely to occur as a result. You know, it might be some sort of energetic law, it might be the spiritual practice. All right, if we're going to do this miracle on him, we've got to balance it out with the bad too. We can't just let him have all the good, because that's spirituality today. Yeah, my point of view on it is I don't want any fucking miracles, no. Not right now. As I want to avoid miracles, because if I have to receive bad in my life, I can't. It's like I hit my limit with suffering. I realise that, and I'm like, yeah, please, no more suffering. You know, what are we talking about? As I said, I'm in a coma. It might be the very thing I need to justify my life to go back to. Can I live in hell? Can I live without life to justify my life, to go back to what would have been death with life? So it makes sense on that level, you know? So my advice is, get yourself in a place where you're absolutely sincere on all levels. You don't want the negative aspect of any miracle in your life, and live that. I reckon if you live that, what would it look like? Well, first of all, you've really got to be prepared for when the positive happens, because what they'll do is often get you with the positive. Oh, this is wicked. And then they hit you with the negative, and it's even worse. It's better to have the negative first, and then, you know, at least you've finished with a balance and a good taste in your mouth, rather than balance and a bad taste in your mouth. So you've got to be sincere, you know, really, I don't want miracles in my life. Negative, I know that. And once you're there, you've really got to be prepared. You've really got to be prepared. So when you go forward, and it's like, you've got to program your mind, basically, so that you're walking through life and you've got to be like, as much as possible, like, if a miracle was fantastic, you know, I found £1 million in a bag or something, you'd take it because you'd need £1 million. Or you could do the compromise and take what you would need. And that way the bad might not be as good. It might be like, we could have taken your leg off, but we're only going to chop off your toe or your toenail instead because you were humble. So it's that sort of logic. It's about being sincere to life. It's about being sincere to yourself. And you've got to program yourself like, ask yourself these sort of questions. And then if you do it enough, you're like on the ball with it. You're like prepared. It's like, make it a game for yourself. And I reckon a good month, if you're really wanting to have miracles, well, not wanting to have miracles in your life, I'm not sure how it will be possible, but I think with a bit of mental programming, it could overcome it. With a good solid month of, right, if something positive happened now, like a great thing, like, what great thing could happen? In terms of the miracles that have happened to me, You'd be walking down the street and that phone that you lost 2 weeks ago, and you've been saving the money to buy a new phone, and you're a bit poor, and all of a sudden you put your hand in your handbag or your backpack and you pull out the phone, and you know to yourself, since you've lost the phone, you've looked in that bag, what, 10, 15, 20 times, and it's not been there. You're walking down the road and all of a sudden it comes back. So in that instance, you know it's a miracle, because you know to yourself, you know, if I tell anyone else about this, they're not going to believe me. Oh, it's just an idiot getting looked properly. Miracle, yeah. But you know it's a miracle. And in that split-second decision, when you realise it's a miracle, because you realise it's a miracle first and you put a label on it, and you've programmed yourself to be alert, you go into training mode, which is, oh shit, it's a miracle. What the fuck am I going to lose now? And then go to it mentally, you know, what, I lost the phone, maybe it's just like balance, maybe it's coming out, like, come back, you know, I lost it unfairly, it's come back more than fairly, you know, it kind of balances out. Let's leave it there and carry on with my day, forget about it, I don't want to know, it's not a miracle, it's not a miracle, but you know to yourself it is. So it'll be something like that. I mean, take to it however you would want, but be absolutely fucking petrified. Think about it. To be a miracle, it's got to be more than the planet. The planet follows set rules upon reality, and what Carlos Castaneda references as the tonal. And what's happening is the two worlds, like Carlos Castaneda references, the nag world, which is the spiritual world which you want to be fucking shitting yourself about, because anything's possible. And spiritual world, and this world, which is like this world, you've got to look at it as like the mentality of a samurai, that sort of energy, you know, to be on point in this world, you want to be fucking wearing a suit with the energy of a samurai, like on point, like I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready to make fucking money and change the world. This world runs on money, and I've got a mind and I have ability. If I'm going to do it one way or another, I'm going to get there. And I'm going there. That's the sort of energy, that's the mentality of this reality. And the Nagwell trumps that. Because it's that's the sort of perception. You've really got to be petrified from the smallest miracle you experience. And I think that's where miracles happen for children and for us all. If you don't realise it, the opposite, the negative, doesn't happen because it's innocent. There is no miracle in the moment. But when it becomes a miracle and there's an ego about it, so we've just realised, haven't we? When there's an ego about it, like, oh, it's a miracle, something magical's happened. Oh, the Nagwell is communicating with the tonal and the two worlds are merging. Oh, wow, how fantastic, how spiritual am I, how great am I, blah, blah, blah. Because it hurts an opposite. Now, the possibility is you can train yourself. Train that pain. But I'm honest, man. life trains me, and I've reached my limits. I know I need to stop. You know, yoga. The key to yoga is to know when to stop. The key to war is to know when to stop. And I've been doing yoga and war simultaneously, and I'm like, I need to fucking stop. So I think to do, you know, just be possibly a miracle, but fuck it, what does it matter? I'm going to be able to openly talk about it because that's just who I am and what I am, and I don't really care what I talk about. I open my big mouth for different reasons other than what comes out. The vocabulary, the message, and maybe I just won't share it anymore either. Maybe, yeah, for my own sake, that's probably the best thing. I'm that sincere about it. Fuck it. It's not worth it, man. The pain, if it means that I don't open my big mouth, so I don't experience any negativity as a result of them, I'll do it. But I just want to highlight that point again. Imagine a child, he has a miracle happen, exactly the same thing, what we just discussed about the mobile phone. A child in his innocence, God, I didn't look properly. And with that thought, there is no miracle. With that thought, he has the miracle that took place. The miracle took place like you would know if it happened to you. The child doesn't. He denies himself. And there is no negativity needed to come to him. So it's quite polarised, it's quite mind-based, which isn't my cup of tea. But yeah, I've given you to create miracles, A Course in Miracles in 42 minutes by a madman. Who's going to read this one? I never read the originals, I don't actually know what it's about. It could be anything really. I doubt the language openly discusses how to practically attract miracles. But who knows, I could be wrong. Maybe I could be wrong. But anyway, you've it. I will change the title. No. Don't want to amplify that miracle making process anymore because I don't want any. You're insane if you do it. I'll let you know for now. And that's it. I'll continue with making dinner on. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You've been with here when I've started to make a curry. I haven't had a curry in ages, and I've realised. Can you believe this? I used to love the kitchen. You know, I used to come in here, make my sugar-free bread, my sugar-free chocolates, my really healthy food. You know, I love being in the kitchen. It's not like the stuff you buy at the shops, but there's a different quality to it, nonetheless. But more so than the food, I didn't realise how much I appreciate being in the kitchen. Because what happened is recently I found some what do you call them, like protein bars, chocolate bars, something like that, that were in alignment with my bio, and they tasted nice for once. It's been about, well, it's got to be like 10 years in and about since I've had a chocolate bar or some sort of bar that tastes nice, that I'm able to eat, that's in alignment with my diet. And I found these bars on Amazon, and for the last few months I've been purchasing these bars instead of making my own chocolates. And I realised yesterday that being in the kitchen is a massive thing for my mental health. It's a massive thing to spend the time to make your own food that you know is good for you, that you're saving money, and it's the way to be. And that as a mindset to the presence that I get when I'm in the kitchen and I'm able to cook, when my mental health gives me some space, is invaluable. To have those bars and to know about them, I would have probably still purchased them all the same, because it was so nice to find out that it was possible to get chocolate bars when I follow such a strict diet. But now I really want to go back in the kitchen. I need that element for my mental health, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. No more bars at the moment, and cooking a curry in addition, which I've not been this creative with my cooking for a while, so it's positive science. Bye.